Jared here, Omnivore Blade Works, October 9th, 10th, I don't know. I'm in my grinding room, it's like 7:30, and I'm working on deburring some various blades. This is the most tedious part of knife making for the way I do things. You can see that on this blade, there's a chamfer that I put on there with a carbide deburring or carbide burr with my table router, and you can see how it's not quite perfect. And so what I end up doing is I file in here and out there, and then I run my sandpaper, old belts that I split into pieces, and then I end up shoe polishing this kind of action with both hands until I get a nice radius. And what that does is it gives, here's the karambit, it gives a better fit and finish to the product than most knives, especially on the production market, have. Most people will end up maybe breaking the edge and running these things through a tumbler, whereas I end up going and breaking the edge and running them around with the sandpaper. So you can see here, it's not perfect, but it's pretty uniform. And if I was to sandblast and or put this through a tumbler and then Cerakote, then it would look darn near perfect. And that's what I'm shooting for. On a combat knife like this here Tonto, these edges are all rounded as well, and this false edge is rounded. Basically, if you Cerakote or powder coat a blade, you need to round over all the edges in order to keep the powder coating or the Cerakoting from chipping off. So all these blades, and then on the Prehensile series, you've got little bitty, come on now, focus for me, dag blast it. You've got a little tit there and a tit there that also need to be deburred. So a lot of work. It takes about 10-15 minutes to each one, and these karambits with the ring finger area, it takes even longer. So that's what I'm doing. And then once that's all done, I'm going to run back over with a 45 micron or 30 micron Trizac belt and do my final cleanup on my plunge cuts, and then these will all be ready for heat treatment. This is the new Mesimus Jackal Tomahawk. This is the blackback jackal. The new Kodiak will share the handle with this, and the idea is that you have a blade that you can choke up on and whittle with. You have a fairly mild spike edge, a really good strong axe edge, and a mohawk edge, and then you have dual grip, so you can either run it as a chopper, and then you end up getting your blade down on a chopping block pretty horizontal in this angle, or in this fighting grip you get for close-up chopping at an antagonist. You see how the blade is raked backwards a little bit, and then so if you have a long sweeping cutting stroke, you end up glancing off and slicing through. You slice through things instead of just going chop and knocking into them, unless of course you catch a hook. But the hook's pretty sharp too, so catching a hook could slow you down, but it wouldn't be the end of the world. So I think I have 10 or 12 of these Mesimus Jackal Tomahawks that are going to be in this batch. That's the last thing I'm grinding. Actually, that and the Kodiak, the new Kodiak, and then everything will go to heat treat. So that's what I'm up to. This last little bit of finish work takes the longest, it seems like. or at least the most tedious part, because you don't see a lot of progress as you're doing it. And you have to wear a dust mask or your boogers turn black. Alright, that's I guess all the news for now. This is going out for heat treat hopefully mid next week. And then gonna have some new 3V blanks made for people that are waiting for those. And that'll be grinding, finishing work for, well, might as well just talk to the camera. So yeah, the 3V will be getting cut out, and then I've got a bunch of thicker blades that are about ready for heat treat. And so I'm going to do a big batch of 3V, send it up to Peter's, get it back, and be finishing stuff all winter long. So we'll be having a blast with satin finishing and making handles and sheaths all winter, and hopefully we'll sell a bunch of stuff to you lovely subscribers, and we'll also be having a bunch of inventory piled up for a blade show and for a road trip next summer, where I'm hoping to go find a bunch of shows from here to Oregon, and then do my 20-year high school reunion out there if they actually hold it, and be kind of fun to make a working vacation. Alright, that's all I have for you now. Riggs says I'm tired, so we'll see you next time.